Hey guys, this is Nolopada, and if you're new to No Man's Sky, you might be in luck. Today we're going to cover 6 tips for beginners. This game doesn't really hold your hand much after the tutorial. It kind of just throws you in the ocean and expects you to learn to swim. So my hope is that one of these tips can help you on your journey. And even if you're not new to the game, maybe one of these tips will help you out. Without further ado, let's jump into the first tip. The catalog can help you find materials. It's the second tab next to discoveries. Once you encounter a substance, you can pin it here and it will add a mission directing you to where you can find it. It will even send you to a different star system if the one you're in doesn't have that material. Tell me how this feature has been in the game for 3 years and I just recently realized it existed.
Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to my top 5 moments. Number 5.
Not knowing the catalog tracks stuff.
It's super helpful. Apart from using it to find stuff, I also use it to find different types of planets as well. For example, if you need to find a toxic planet, like Twitter for example, and the star you're at has none, then pinning a toxic substance like fungal mold or ammonia will mark the nearest system with a toxic planet in it, which I think is pretty dope. Tip number 2. Learning the difference between blueprints and upgrade modules. Blueprints are recipes that you collect for craftable tech and upgrades to tech. They have fixed stats and they're bought at the anomaly or earned through gameplay. So you could use it to build one of each instance of blueprint in your suit, for example, or once in each of your ships. Upgrade mods are a bit different. They're single-use upgrades to your gear that come in different levels of greatness. A class, B class, C class, S class, and X class. They can be bought at space stations with nanites. Their stats are different each time you install one, and you can have up to 3 in the general inventories, as well as 3 in the tech inventories before they overload. So in both your suit and your ships, you can have up to 6 mods of each type. And in your weapon, like your multi-tool, you can only have 3 because there's only 1 inventory on it. I personally wouldn't waste nanites on the lower classes like C and B class upgrade modules. I would stick to the S class. Once you install them, you can't really get your nanites back and refund them. You only get some material if you break it down. Also, if you find an S class of a certain upgrade that you want, that station is always going to carry that same selection. So you buy one, you run to your ship and autosave, and then you go to your menu and you reload your latest autosave, and there you go. The inventory will be restocked. It's kind of a pain. I wish they would just add more to the inventory stocks of these, but for the time being, that's what we have to deal with. Tip number 3. Recommended upgrades and blueprints. For beginners, I recommend focusing on the movement and defense upgrades for your suit, as this will make melee jetpack boosting way more powerful and give you more HP respectively. If you don't know what melee boosting is, it has been explained in every single tips video ever made for No Man's Sky. It's the oldest trick in the book, and it's been in the game since it came out, first as a bug and then as a bona fide feature. If you want to learn to do it, that search bar is your friend. This little jump feature actually takes some practice to get used to it. My wife can attest to that. In my teaching my wife No Man's Sky video, you can watch her try and eventually get the hang of it. For recommended blueprints, one of the early ones that I really like to get first is the personal refiner for your suit. It's a godsend, let me tell you. You don't have to sit and wait around for things to refine. You can just have it work in the background while you get in your ship, you fly around, and then you check your backpack and it's there. The materials are refined. And for the ship, I recommend the launch system recharger. So you don't have to make as much launch fuel. And I also recommend the economy scanner for this next tip. Tip number 4, scanning for trading posts. Once you have an economy scanner, not only will you see detailed info on each of the star systems, you could also use it to quickly find trading posts. You open your quick menu when you're flying, and you can select scan for trading posts. These buildings are very useful, not only for buying and selling, they also make a great place to hunt for your next ship. Just hop on top of the trading post and just chill, and use the next tip. Tip number 5, scanning ships shows stats. If you're ship hunting or scrapping, using your visor on a ship will show you its class and how much it'll cost you. This feature is underrated as heck. And tip number 6, should you focus on the story? This isn't really a tip as much as just my personal opinion. as much as these other ones kind of are as well. My advice is do the story up to the point where you visit the anomaly. After that, all the restrictions for the tutorial and all of that are gone, and you have the option to continue the story if you're really liking it. But even if you don't like the story, I recommend just every now and then just getting a mission done or two and then just going back to your regular gameplay, because you could do it at your own pace, there's no rush, and you get some neat tech for free.
Sounds good to me.
And you also unlocked a certain feature at the end of the Artemis path, so it's definitely worth your while. Also connected to the Artemis path is the dudes that you hire for your base. These guys are technicians and they have a full set of missions that I recommend you also pursue. Other than that, I hope you have fun. This game can be very chill, especially after a long day of work. It can be very relaxing to not feel forced to complete any objective, you know? You make your own objective if you so desire. There's so much out there waiting for us to explore. If any of these tips helped you, make sure to let me know in the comment section. And if you enjoy the content, you know what to do. There's buttons down below. I make tips and guides on No Man's Sky, which I'll link to here on the screen. And I'm working on retrospectives on every major update that this game has gotten, linked here. And I also plan to cover different games in the future. I'm currently playing through Hollow Knight for the first time, and I'm really enjoying it. So keep your eyes peeled for that video in the coming weeks.
Graphic content warning.
Thank you so much for stopping by. This is Nolopada, and I am out.